Graduates, please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Lori Laredo, the Assistant Superintendent, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremony for the class of 2017. Joining me today on the stage are members of the Board of Education, President Jamie Dirtle, Vice President Matt Eckberg, Secretary Steve Knobloch, and board members Dennis Reinhardt, Patrice Heth, and Jen Huff. Also joining me on the stage today are Superintendent Dr. Chuck Nagel, Chief Financial Officer Damon Hackett, keynote speaker Jill Dawson, and counselors April Vasquez and Julie Darko. At this time, I would like to ask Jacqueline Ingold to please come forward.
Hello, hello. I have been given the task of doing the welcomes. So first of all, welcome. I'd like to welcome friends, family, and most of all, my fellow students to this lovely outdoor graduation. I know it has certainly been a wild ride getting here, but hey, we made it, and that's what counts, right? As this ceremony continues, just remember that we're all here because we deserve to be here. So thank you, class of 2017, for making everyone's high school experience, especially my own, fantastic, full of laughter and learning. Thank you, and have a great ride to your graduation.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Rana Abdallah and William Gibson will now present the class gift.
Friends, family, and faculty, we are here today to celebrate the class of 2017 and the 4 years of hard work we put in.
Today marks the next step to our future, and we leave EPCHS with a gift to represent our class and our legacy. Outside the new gym by the concession stand, there are glass doors that lack style and color.
For that reason, we decided to show our school spirit by personalizing the doors with window perf. These doors will have our school name and logo so that anyone that drives by will know we are the EPCHS Raiders.
As your student or senior class president, I want to say thank you to everyone today for sharing this moment with us.
And as your student body president, we are glad to say that our gift will stand as years go on and will be remembrance of the class of 2017. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now Mr. Damon Hackett will now present this year's retirees.
This year, 2 certificated staff members announced their plan to retire after having given many years of dedicated service to educating the students of our district. As is our tradition, we honor these retirees on the day of graduation. At its April meeting, the Board of Education passed the following resolution. Whereas the following certificated staff members, Mrs. Elaine Lagoda, who began her career at EPCHS in August of 1999, and Dr. Chuck Nagel, who began his career at EPCHS in July of 2010. And whereas said teacher and superintendent have given faithfully of their services to the school district for these past years. And whereas it is the intention of the administration and Board of Education to recognize these years of loyal service, therefore be it resolved, the administration and Board of Education of District 309 gathered this 18th day of April 2017 do hereby thank said faculty and administrator upon retirement for their total of 25 years of loyal service to East Peoria Community High School. This resolution has been inscribed on individual plaques for each of our retirees. At this time, I would ask Mrs. Elaine Lagoda to come forward and receive her plaque. And at this time, I would ask Dr. Chuck Nagel to come forward and receive his plaque. And now, as a representative of the Board of Education and the administration, I want to personally thank both our retirees for all their contributions to East Peoria Community High School and for their many years of service to the students of our district. Thank you.
Senior chorale members may now assemble. The chorale members, under the direction of Ms. Hannah Church, will present for your enjoyment New Beginnings by Jim Papoulis.
We know it Thank you, Ms. Church and members of the chorale. This year's commencement address speaker was voted on and selected by the senior class. It is my pleasure and honor to present to you this year's commencement speaker, Jill Dawson.
Boy, you guys are making me feel like a rock star. I get a microphone and everything, and you know Miss Dawson loves a microphone. Good afternoon. When I was asked if I accepted the challenge of being the keynote speaker at today's graduation ceremony, I felt a little apprehensive. I didn't feel apprehensive because it required me to speak in front of a large crowd. Any of these kids could tell you, as long as a microphone isn't involved, I will speak in front of anybody for long periods of time. Although that's not really allowed today because Dr. Nagel has only given me a 3-minute time limit. Sorry about that, Dr. Nagel. But I was apprehensive because I felt an overwhelming responsibility to say something life-changing and profound. And although I have lots to say on many subjects and am filled with many stories, I don't know that any of them could be categorized as life-changing or profound. Even though I felt this apprehension, I said yes, because I didn't want to later regret not taking the opportunity to talk to a class who has very much held a great place in my heart. So I did what any one of you would have done when faced with the task of writing an essay for English class. I procrastinated by binge watching several hours of Shameless and Grey's Anatomy on Netflix. While in the middle of a pretty heart-wrenching episode of Grey's Anatomy and sitting on my couch sobbing, because like one of you seniors told me during the recent honors night ceremony, when doesn't Dawson cry? I decided I was just going to speak to you all from my heart. Unbeknownst to this class of 2017, when they were mere sophomores, they taught me 2 very valuable lessons. One on perspective, and the other was to never give up on something you truly love. I had the pleasure of teaching many of these students when they were mere sophomores. This was the same year that I finally had students in my classes who were old enough to be my own children. In fact, my own son was a sophomore that year as well. I looked out at these young, smiling 10th grade faces on the first day of school, and I came to this realization, and I thought to myself, how would I want my child's teacher to treat him in class? This put my life as a teacher into a different perspective, as I felt not only responsible for teaching these students strong communication skills through reading and writing, but I also felt responsible for helping to make them good human beings. This is how you all taught me a strong lesson in perspective, and this lesson has made me a more caring and compassionate teacher. The next lesson these students taught me the same year was to never give up on something you truly love. The 2014-15 school year had been my most challenging as an educator. Some signs of the dreaded teacher burnout are mental exhaustion, anxiety about whether or not you're doing a good job, feeling overwhelmed, and losing creativity and enthusiasm about a profession you once greatly loved. After about 18 years of teaching, I was exhibiting some of these signs. A couple months into the school year, I was even thinking I might need to pursue a different career path. But a couple things happened to me that year that involved the graduates you see in front of you. I received many signs that I shouldn't leave this career that I am still so deeply passionate about, and those signs came in the form of these students. They came in my classroom every day with a willingness to learn. They didn't complain about anything we were doing. They had smiles on their faces, laughed at my corny jokes, encouraged my dance breaks, and didn't seem to be too bothered by my made-up songs that I may have sung just a little bit too loudly. At times, out of nowhere, and just when I needed them most, I was given a little note saying thanks, or a visit after school telling me I appreciate what you do. Spending that year with these students gave me the reassurance that I was right where I needed to be. Whether you all realized it or not, you taught me to never give up. These lessons have made me a better teacher, and for this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
So since you all had the opportunity of teaching the teacher, I would like to pay it forward and leave you with 2 last lessons. I promise they're not about writing or literature or grammar or any of those things we're done with. These lessons are, don't let others define you, you define yourself. And conversely, don't define others. Let's start with the latter. As you know, you'll encounter many different people throughout your life, especially when you journey off into the world, in the workplace, or away to college, or even just down the street at ICC. Some of these people will be kind to you, and some of them won't. Some will be a pure joy to your everyday, and some will seem like complete torture to be around. Some will touch your lives so profoundly and teach you valuable lessons, and some will try and drag you down just because they can. But I implore you, don't define those people. Keep an open mind, and please try not to judge them. We really have no idea what others walk through in this life, and the last thing we want for ourselves is for others to put a label on us. Don't define others, let them define themselves. Which leads me to my second and final lesson. Don't let others define who you are. Only you are the author of that definition. Be yourself. Be your goofy, loud singing, dance breaking self. Or be your shy, quiet and observant, deep thinking self. Give yourself a definition, write that definition in bold, and put that definition on blast into the world to see what you have to give to them. Tell the world, this is who I am, there's no shame in my game, and I'm here. Now, will the world always love your definition? Of course not. But your definition should not change just because you may not be everyone's cup of tea. Since you are the author of your definition, only you can change it. Because that definition is written in bold does not mean that it's written in stone. So your definition may change as you learn and grow, but it should always be how you define yourself. All I ask of you today is that you always be you and the best you can be. I leave you today with a bit of a cliche, a quote, my favorite quote, that seems fitting for my lesson, a quote from the remarkable William Shakespeare. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Always stay true to who you are, because class of 2017, that's what we've come to love and enjoy about each and every one of you. Congratulations on all of your many accomplishments. Good luck on your future endeavors, and we'll miss you immensely. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Dawson. At this time, may I ask the senior band members to please join the symphonic band for a special performance. Their final performance with the East Peoria Band, the senior instrumentalists have chosen Yesterday's Joy by Samuel Hazo. And now enjoy the East Peoria Band under the direction of Adam Schneblin.
Thank you, Mr. Schneblin, and all of the members of the band. Today we recognize the members of the class of 2017, the Board of Education, the faculty and staff, and of course parents, relatives, and friends in attendance this afternoon are extremely proud of this class. Members of the class of 2017 have distinguished themselves in regard to academic excellence. 15 seniors have been designated as Illinois State Scholars, 19 are Sterling Merit Award recipients, 33 have been initiated into the National Honor Society, and 50 have been recognized as Mid-Illini Conference Scholar athletes. Many members of this class were recognized at our annual honors program as recipients of scholarships and other academic recognition from groups within our community, various clubs, state and national organizations, and their respective colleges and universities. I now have the honor to present the top 10 students in this year's graduating class. I will call these students to come forward, starting with number 10 and working up to the valedictorian. Each student will receive a commemorative medallion and plaque as a remembrance of today. I will also introduce each student's parents, whom I would ask to stand and be recognized when I announce your names. Number 10, Brooklyn Berry, daughter of Annette and Greg Berry. Number 9, Aliana Capatti, daughter of Cassandra Link and Mike Capatti. Number 8, Kristen Philby, daughter of Cammie and Seth Colvin and Jason Philby. Number 7, Caitlin Smith, daughter of Jennifer and Sean Smith. Number 6, Abigail Sells, daughter of Stacy and Scott Sells. Number 5, Pialani Noguchi, daughter of Eva and Todd McMenamin and Kanoa Noguchi. Number 4, Crystal Brown, daughter of Sarah Lindley and Dan Hammer and Damian Brown. Number 3, Jacqueline Ingold, daughter of Deborah and Keith Ingold. There are 2 salutatorians for the class of 2017. Let me first introduce to you Paige Lambrick, daughter of Tricia and Jeff Lambrick. During her time at EPCHS, Paige was a blood drive coordinator, a Sterling Merit Scholar, a member of the National Honor Society, an Illinois State Scholar, a member of Link Crew, Art Club, Latin Club, Key Club, Scholastic Bowl, Best Buddies, an ambassador for Shriners Hospital, performed in the school musical, and a member of the United Way Youth Board. Paige's plans after high school are to attend Illinois Central College and St. Francis School of Nursing in hopes of becoming a pediatric nurse. Please welcome Paige Lambrick.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to start off by congratulating my fellow graduates. We did it! All the late nights and last-minute cramming for tests has finally paid off. I think it goes without saying that none of us would be here today without the love and support from our families. It was you who drove us to all of our extracurriculars and helped us prepare for finals, among other things. So thank you. The teachers also deserve a big thanks for guiding us through this seemingly tumultuous journey. I can't count the number of times I have had to come in early or stay late to get help on homework. They were always there to help and give me advice whenever I needed it, and believed in me when I doubted myself. I remember starting as a freshman, looking at the seniors and thinking, wow, they're so old. I think that almost all of the freshmen and sophomores look up to the seniors because they have so much wisdom to pass on to them. Like, write small on your finals note cards so that you don't have to remember so much. or always have a jacket handy because the temperature inside the school fluctuates more than the temperature outside. One thing that you hear a lot is how quickly these 4 years will go by. For some of you, it may have felt like this day would never come. If you're like me, you're trying to figure out where the time went. I hope you're all excited as I am to start this new chapter of our lives. And if I have learned anything in the past 4 years, it is to slow down and enjoy the moment. Special memories like homecoming week and prom are those we will look back on and wish we could do all over again, which is what we will tell our kids in the lecture, encouraging them to participate and socialize. Thank you, class of 2017, for giving me such a memorable high school experience. It's been great. I can't wait to run into you guys down the road where we will probably hug each other, even if we don't remember each other's names, and ask how each other are in those high-pitched, "I'm so excited to see you, I haven't seen you in forever" voices. Before I wrap up, I'd like to share 2 of my favorite quotes by Audrey Hepburn. The first being, "For beautiful eyes, look for the good in others. For beautiful lips, speak only words of kindness. For poise, walk with the knowledge that you are never alone." It reminds me of what it truly means to be a beautiful person. The second is especially fitting for today. Living is like tearing through a museum. Not until later do you really start absorbing what you saw, thinking about it, looking it up in a book and remembering, because you can't take it in all at once. Thank you again to our parents and teachers who have given us the tools we need to succeed, and thank you to my peers for being just plain awesome. Congrats, grads. You've earned it. Have a great Ritter Day.
Thank you, Paige. Our next salutatorian for the class of 2017 is Savannah Ball, daughter of Pepper Grove and Mike Ball. During her time at EPCHS, Savannah was a member of the softball and basketball teams and link crew. Savannah was a Sterling Merit Scholar, National Honor Society member, Youth Rotarian, and an Illinois State Scholar. Savannah's plans after high school are to attend Monmouth College to study animal science and play softball. Please welcome Savannah.
All right. Ladies, gentlemen, parents, friends, classmates, and faculty, good afternoon. Today we celebrate the graduation of East Peoria's class of 2017. At this time, I'd briefly like to thank my mother, father, stepfather, the rest of my family, coaches, teachers, and friends for all they've done for me these past years. You've all played a crucial part in shaping me into the person I am today. It is my honor to be one of this class of salutatorians and to speak on a few cliché statements we've heard countlessly over the 4-year span of our high school careers. First and foremost, it goes by fast. Freshman year, I vividly remember being told within the first week of school that these 4 years will be the fastest 4 years of my life. Whether it was in the classroom, in the locker room, or on the field, the teachers, faculty, and coaches preached this day in and day out. At the time, I didn't believe it. I mean, it was 1,460 days of school, breaks, games, and dances, right? Well, as it turns out, they were right. It did go by extremely fast, especially this last year. We all somehow managed to get through all the finals, the big quizzes in calculus, the lengthy papers, the fitness days, and all the other things at the time we thought we surely couldn't get through. So use this in the future by realizing that if you're going through a tough time, or you're in preparation for something of extreme difficulty, it'll pass. However, also remember that if you're experiencing good things and times of joy, that these too will pass, so you should enjoy these moments as much as you can. Next is my personal favorite cliche. These are the best 4 years of our lives. Writing this speech really made me reflect on my time at East Peoria. These 4 years have truly been memorable. I've been lucky enough to experience a multitude of things. Some examples are Miss Dawson's numerous dance breaks, Mr. Disney's extensive vocabulary and undying wit, being a part of the basketball and softball programs, which have allowed me to make endless memories while becoming a better athlete in person, and lifelong friendships. I definitely have lost my fair share of friends and changed friend groups many times, but along the way I was lucky enough to acquire friendships I believe I will maintain forever. Going our separate ways shortly, I'm sure that our paths will continue to cross in the future. However, I do not believe for a second that these 4 years are the best of our lives. I believe that if your time at EP was a good experience, that it might be the best you've experienced so far. If not, there's most definitely hope. High school does not define you and is a small measure of time in the grand scheme of things. I hope all of you can leave here today with at least a few positives that have come of your high school career. Last and arguably most important, this is the beginning of the rest of our lives. Today marks not only the ending of high school, but also an ending to one of the very first chapters of our lives. Our time at EPCHS and our accomplishments and the challenges we've overcame will be minuscule in comparison with what's to come. The future has endless possibilities, and they will be different for each and every single one of us. Some of us may go into the workforce, some of us may join the military, and some of us will be attending college in the very near future. Whatever path we may follow, we will surely be accomplishing and overcoming far more things than we have in these past 4 years. As Abraham Lincoln once said, always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other. As a conclusion to this very cliche speech, I would like to just say one more thing to my fellow classmates. Look all around you. Remember that these are the people who have supported you, helped you, loved you, and been there for you. They've played a huge part in what you've accomplished and will continue to do so. So when you leave here tonight and begin this incredible new chapter of your lives, don't forget where you came from and who has helped you along the way. Once again, congratulations, and I wish the best for all of you in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Savannah. It is now my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2017, Christopher Underwood, son of Tiffany Vaughn and Brian Underwood. During his time at EPCHS, Christopher has been a member of Link Crew, Key Club, Student Council, and National Honor Society. Christopher was a Sterling Merit Scholar, Blood Drive Coordinator, an Illinois State Scholar, a Youth Rotarian, and a Junior Achievement Scholarship recipient. In the fall, Christopher plans on attending Indiana State University to study psychology, followed by attending the University of Illinois to earn a master's degree. Please welcome Christopher Underwood.
High school as a concept sucks. Let me just start off right there. This is because for most of us, we balance an 8-hour school day with homework, jobs, extracurriculars, sports, time with family, and even by, as Mr. Green would say, canoodling with each other. But when I look back on these 4 years that seem to fly by, I only remember the good times. Things like the many football games filled with friends in the tribe as we cheered on our team, or how about being the last generation of students to experience MORP at its prime? Or when we swiped the homecoming week victory from under the seniors' nose when we were juniors. These memories are just a small portion of all the things that we, the class of 2017, have accomplished. But we couldn't have done this alone. I, like many others, have felt that school is kind of like prison. But the truth couldn't be any more different. Yes, we were forced to come, yes, the food was terrible, and yes, the desks were hard to sleep in. But that's where the similarities end. Here we had so much more than that. As cliche as it sounds, we were so lucky because of the support system that we had. Family and the teachers who basically became a part of our family are two groups who have invested so much in us. They weren't just doing their job, they also had a passion of educating us. But I think the most important people we have is each other. All of our personalities and lifestyles help to shape us into the soon-to-be adults that we turn to after today. That is not to say that we all got along and that problems did not arise. However, at the end of the day, lessons were learned and these issues were forgotten. So thank you, fellow classmates, for not only helping building me and each other up, but also for putting the fun in dysfunctional. The final thing I wanted to say is this. At this moment, we all have a fresh start. The last 4 years of all of our lives do not have to make nor break us. That low grade in art does not mean you can't become an artist, just as that one bad play didn't dictate the rest of your athletic career. I know that circumstances can be tough and hold you back, but effort can still take you a long way. Realistically, I know that all 200-something of us won't create the next Google, become the next president, or achieve another legendary feat. However, that is okay. If high school has taught me anything, besides that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, it's that you don't have to become the best to become happy. All that is needed is to follow that one passion and to spread those great vibes that we've had the last 4 years. As long as we all do this, we can truly make this country a Raider nation. Regardless of what my friends think, I know that I don't know everything. So I want to leave you with this one last piece of advice from the legendary musician, Billy Joe Armstrong. He said, the day you become old is the day you are not looking for new experiences anymore. So Raiders, let us stay young forever and look for experiences in even the most desolate of places.
Thank you, Christopher. At this time, I will ask the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Chuck Nagel, to please come forward and certify the class of 2017.
It is my honor, by the power vested in me by the state of Illinois, that I certify that the class of 2017 has satisfied the prescribed requirements for graduation, and I call upon each member of this class to come forward to receive their diploma.
Christopher Brian Underwood. Savannah Taylor Ball. Paige Elizabeth Lambrick. Jacqueline Marie Ingold. Crystal Nicole Brown. Piilani Lehua Angela Noguchi. Abigail Marie Sells. Caitlin Michelle Smith. Kristen Marie Philby. Aliana Lisette Capati. Brooklyn Nicole Berry. Rana Hussein Abdallah. Connor Andrew Alexander. Kiera Renee Allen. Catherine Rihanna Alvarez. Andrea Faye Archdale. Hunter Austin Arkanoff. Chloe Noel Arnold. Leticia Consuela Barajas Anthony Andrew Barbier. Chase Dean Barker. Bethany Alexis Barty. Michael Jack Baugh. Jonathan William Beal. Austin Scott Beard. Chloe Marie Beanie. Jesse Michael Bell. Caitlin Lori Bavard. Jacob Charles Billingsley. Alexander Carl Vinegar. Jade Kathleen Blake. Austin Nicholas Baumhold. Jacqueline Renee Barassa. Austin Michael Bray. Allison Renee Britbeck. Bailey Allen Brown. Hayden Shea Bruns. Justin Schuyler Bryant. Sydney Joe Burtis. Alec Christopher Burwell. William Jared Butner. Taryn May Carpenter. Alexis Alonzo Castaneda. Michael Lee Church. Benjamin Cisneros. Riley James Close. Sophia Leanne Cohn. Melinda Sue Cook. Cassidy Amaya Coyle. Joshua Andrew Krager. Brock Dalton Crippen. Katerina Justice Crumley. Bethany Anne Marie Cusack. Anthony Wayne Doughty. Kaylee Marie Daxenbickler. Parker Harrison Day. Benjamin James Richard Dishman. Robert Carroll Dorr. Tyler Albert Donald. Bailey Ann Eads. Kylie Ann Ellis. Ashley Marie Emmert. Ethan Eric Emmert. Madison Grace Emery. Mackenzie Dawn Emig. Katie Marie Iyer. Sierra Nicole Farden. Remy Michelle Ferguson. Kaylee Rebecca Finney. Haley Marie Fleckenstein. Sterling Haley Flores. Jason Michael Forster. Shelby Gail Frank. William Harrison Gibson. Morgan Brianne Good. Gregory Makepeace Gould. Marissa Ann Graff. Alyssa Renee Graves. Ethan Paul Gray. Morgan Elizabeth Grease. Cody Breeden Gross. Grant David Hagedorn. Emily Rose Joanne Haney. Griffin Matthew Hall. Riley Alexis Harper. Haley Marie Hatville. Chase Andrew Helms. Christopher Anthony Scott Henricks. Brianna Christine Higdon. Jordan Elizabeth Honeycutt Briner. Kara Jewel Honeycutt. Noah James Hornung. Trevor James Hoskins. Dakota Dean Huffman. Mitchell Easton Ingold. Dylan Michael Innes. Natalie Kathleen Eisenhart. Whitney Nicole Johnston. Noah Michael Kale. Aaron Alexandria Kammerer. Jim D. Kaufman. Caleb Thomas Kelch. Logan Ashley Kelly. Marin Christine Kelly. Jordan Juliana Kelso. Caitlin Ann Keys. Mark Matthew Kindeline. Kayla Renee King. Cora Ann Knight. Rachel Michelle LaHood. Andrew Michael Lambert. Logan Rennell Lenaway.
Jessica Lauren Lister. Alvander Fing Lore. Madison Ann Love. William Harrison Luther. Jonathan Michael Lutton. Stephanie Jewel Luttrell. Ryan Robert Madden. Zachary David Martin. Caitlin Elaine Marvin. Anna Marie Bentley Mason. Alexis Jasmine Maxwell. Bailey Lynn McCartney. Cole Whaley McMullen. Caitlin Lee McWhirter. Jacob Edward Meeks. Logan James Mobeck. Joseph Daniel Montgomery. Zachary Lee Morrison. Christopher William Mushan. Corey Michael Mullen. Morgan May Naramore. Thomas Wayne Now. Hayato Nishiyama. Mackenzie Lynn Knoll. Elliot Chandler Norville. Clayton Jacob O'Brien. Gavin Patrick O'Donohue. Nicole Christina O'Donohue. Chance Jeffrey Orwig. Christopher Lee Osborne. Brandon Zachary Pate. Allison Marie Prechek. Troy Michael Petrie. Jennifer Marie Pheasant. Sean Michael Pickerel. Kylie Brianne Pitzer. Haley Renee Plummer. Hunter Harlan Polson. Angel Renee Putty. Mariah Susanna Marie Pummel. Nicholas Alexander Ragland. Kaylee Joe Reagan. Autumn Lynn Randall. Sarah Thamitra Randitsis. Zachary Michael Reese. Alexis Nicole Reinders. Haley Nicole Rennick. Kara Lynn Rexroth. Skylar Matthew Rhodes. Kayla William Ringenberg. Summer Dawn Rose. Zenes Teria Ross. Dakota Lee Roth. Brianna Nicole Sally. Joseph Robert Sarnes. Taylor Nicole Sharp. Whisper Lynn Schreiber, Jeannie Elaine Schropel, Jenna Lynn Seeley, Angel Marie Sheridan, Andrew Michael Shields, Joseph Michael Short, Nathan Michael Slusher, Devin Tiffany Smith, Lauren Christine Smith, Cheyenne Nicole Snare, Zachary Ryan Spokley, Jacob Michael Stewart, Gabrielle Elise Stoltenberg, Sierra Judith Marie Stromka, Chanel Janine C. Stuckey, Clay Anthony Sweat, Jacob Benjamin Ross Teagarden, Jacob Stephen Thaller, Alyssa Kaylin Thompson, Lyric Marie Trapp, Shyler Jade Trentelman, Aaron Sidney Troop, Austin Jacob Tucker, Deborah Pauline Tucker, Ashlyn Jean Uphole, Ryan Matthew Vaughn, Ricardo Velasquez Burrell, Garrett Emerson Vonderheide, Ricky Kalia Vroman, Christopher Wesley Wagstaff, John Tanner Walden, Caitlin Nicole Lee Walton, Skylar Marie Warner, Braden Lawrence Weber, Logan James Webster, Laura Rose Helen Wesso, Jacqueline Nicole West, Krista Lynn Wheeler, Erica Lee Whitaker, Dakota Lynn White, Elena Jean Wolfe, Caitlin Nicole Warwick, Jacob Daniel Wright, Summer Lynn York.
At this time, I would like Crystal Brown to please come forward. And following the closing comments, I ask that the audience please remain in your seat until the entire class has recessed from the field.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Before we all go our separate ways, I would like to take this opportunity to speak on behalf of the class of 2017 and say thank you to the school board, faculty, and students at EPCHS. We would not all be here at graduation without them. I would also like to personally thank them for giving me the opportunity to speak today. The school, along with parents, siblings, and other relatives, gave each student the support and encouragement needed to get them here today. Thank you for all you have done and continue to do for all of us. Some of you graduates here know exactly what you want to do. Others have no idea. Some were really excited when we got dismissed from high school for the last time, and others were less than enthused. Whether you had an amazing time at high school or you had the worst time of your life, there's still memories that will stick with you. Some happy, sad, some angry, some exciting. These emotions are what helped each of us get to this point in our lives. We got to finish this chapter of our life. As Dakota Fanning once said, every story has an end, but in life, every ending is just a new beginning. Our high school story and all the memories in it are coming to an end. However, we are starting a new beginning in our lives, a beginning to our higher education, a beginning to our careers, a beginning to our lives. Although this is the end of the ceremony, it is only the beginning of a new chapter in each of our lives. I would like to end this by saying congratulations, class of 2017, we made it. And as we all know, once Raider, always Raider. Thank you.
Graduates, please stand. Now that you have completed all the requirements and have received your diploma, you may move your tassel to the left side, symbolizing your graduation. And now, it is my pleasure to present to you the class of 2017. Congratulations to all.